What is up, guys? Today I'm here to talk to you about the Weeping Demon down here, the Ibanez Weeping Demon WD-7, not WD-40. This pedal was suggested by Drift Racer B. I love you. Thank you for your comments, your suggestions. If you have any suggestions for gear in the future, let me know in the comments below. I would love to review whatever you want. Just let me know. Let's start off with the Weeping Demon right here. This is probably the best wah pedal I've ever used in my entire life. I'm a bit conflicted between this and the 535Q. I think the 535Q slightly has an advantage sound-wise than the WD-7 right here, the Ibanez Weeping Demon, but I think functionality, the Weeping Demon just sweeps the floor with almost every wah pedal I've ever used in my life. And the sound quality of this thing is so close to the 535Q that I would actually say this is better than the 535Q. I know it's sacrilegious, and I've made an entire video on the best metals pedal of all time, being the 535Q. But I think it's time for the 535Q to take off the crown and pass it on to the younger Ibanez WD-7 right here as the best metal pedal ever created. This thing is amazing. This thing does everything I want a wah pedal to do. It sounds great and it functions extremely well, and it does that morally type of turn on when you hit the pedal thing that I really enjoy. I've had a couple Morley pedals in the past, and I really love that it activates when I press down on the pedal instead of having to really put my weight on the pedal to activate it. And on top of that, it has a big red button on it, so I know when it's on and when it's off. And that is just a big lifesaver to me, especially when you record. This thing is the best recording wah I've ever used in my life because it's so easy to know what's going on with it. I don't need to play around just to hear if there's a wah going on in my signal or not. I just know if it's good or not, and that's what I really love about the Weeping Demon wah down here. On top of that, all the knobs and all the whistles are very easy and in focus when you go to change things. With the 535Q, everything's on the side, and it can be very annoying to figure out which one's which, and you have to turn the pedal over just to see what the knob does. But here everything's just laid out really flat, and on top of that, once you lock your settings in, you can just push them all down and lock them down into place. I don't know why more pedal companies don't just steal this idea. Maybe Ibanez has a patent or something, but that is such a cool feature because you can just lock your settings in place and not have to worry about them again. This thing has a level which controls the volume. It has a Q which controls the amount of quack that goes on with your wah, and then it has the EQ which really helps show you what kind of sweep you want, more or less, kind of a general direction of it. And then it has a normal feature as well as a low feature, and this really helps extend your wah if you want a more lower end sweep to it, a la Zakk Wylde wah, where you can get that big throaty sound to it, and then move on closer to a higher end kind of sizzle type of wah sound, a la Michael Schenker. Or you can go normal mode, which is more akin to the Kirk Hammett type wahs, which is very sweet spottish, which has a bit of range between low and high. You're just getting that nice cut your throat type of wah sound to it that everybody loves in metal. And I think the combination between all of these things, you can really get any sound you want out of this thing. The wah sound I love the most is Joe Satriani's wah in Live in San Francisco, that CD. And you can definitely get all of those sounds with this wah. He uses the 535Q in that CD, and it is a great sound, but this thing does all of the 535Q settings as well as be functional, and that makes me extremely excited. And it's amazing, especially with the whole Morley switch type of thing. You can also switch this to a classic wah type of setting as well, like a Crybaby, where you manually move it up and down. such as moving this big old lever down here, and then there's no resistance whatsoever. It's just balls to the wall with your foot wherever you want. If you want to just set it to a certain sweet spot, just keep soloing like that, you can do that. You can do basically everything with this wah. It also has a big button on the side of it, which makes it extremely fun to just turn on and off. I don't have to really know if it's on or off just by playing. The big red button just lets me know, and the simpler things are, the better. There are two knobs underneath this wah right here. And when I say underneath, I mean right here where my hand is, and not underneath the pedal, which is huge. There's a micro fine tuner, which really helps you get the sound exactly the way you want it, more or less your sweep exactly the way you want it to sound. And then there's a delay for the power on, and this only works when you go into this Morley mode right here. We're in the Morley type of mode right here where you have that resistance pushing back on your foot, which feels really nice, by the way. This fine tuner will let you have a delay to the power. So if you want to go completely off, there will be a second of delay at most. And if you want to turn it all the way to the left, there will be no delay whatsoever. Let me try to do that right here. Here's no delay whatsoever. Off, off, off. Here's delay. On, on, on. You know, it's really nice because you can jump in really quick if you do not want your wah to turn off and your signal to go dry again. What I found when you do play the wah like this is that you can generally keep it on about 90% and just keep playing your wah as much as you possibly want. And it just sounds like a Crybaby wah without turning it off at 90%. It just has that low sweep sound to it. You just have to be more conscious of it. But it's nice that I can just take my foot off and go right into a dry signal, which is really great. This thing would be exceptional live. I think this is probably the best live wah pedal I've ever used in my entire life. This thing is so functional. That's why I love it so much. I cannot thank you enough, Drift Racer B, for suggesting this pedal for me. This has been life-changing. I'm a new man because of this pedal. It's so freaking great. So enough talk. Let's hear this thing in action.
Wow.
If you like this video and you want to see more videos like this, hit the subscribe button down below and stick with me. We're going to build this channel up one video at a time, one comment at a time. Leave a comment below. I want as many people talking as possible. Thank you so much. I am eternally grateful. Thank you.